First of all, I would like to ask you to introduce this VMware company and the program in an understandable way.
Okay, so VMware itself is a company. It's about 10 years old, and we've been operating here in Hungary for just over a year now. What we're doing is we're building virtualization solutions. So the idea is that today's data center is very inefficient. The average server is using 5–10% of its utilization, but we're paying for that server, we're paying for the electricity it uses, we're paying for the cooling, we're also paying for the amount of carbon emissions that it's having. So, servers are very environmentally unfriendly, and at the same time, they're very expensive. So what virtualization is doing is finding a way to utilize these servers more efficiently, to use them at 50, 60, 70, 80% or higher, and to really create a pool of resources, what we like to call the cloud computing environment, which really allows you to have a flexibility and choice, as well as reducing your cost infrastructure and having a greener IT impact. So these ideas of greener IT and these ideas of cost are something that are very, very important for us as VMware. I've been doing this for quite a while, and we're the market leader at this point. And what we see is that we're really getting a huge traction, both here in Hungary and in the countries which I'm covering, which is essentially Eastern Europe, Southeast Europe, and here Central Eastern Europe. So we've expanded a lot in the last little while. We've opened offices in Romania on May 1st this year, in Hungary last year, in Czech, in Poland, in Croatia. And the customers are really adopting this. And even despite the crisis, because we are proposing a way to save money and to make a more efficient data center, people are continuing to invest into the virtualization initiatives.
And what is your experience of this 1 year?
Well, I've been in the company actually for quite longer. I was 3.5 years already in this company, which for VMware is a long time. I know for a company like IBM, it's not a long time, but for us, we're quite a new company still. It's quite a long time, and we've grown exponentially. So we've had a huge increase, and not just here in Hungary and in the region, but also on a worldwide basis. Last year we grew from 700. So in the last 2 years, we grew from 700 million to 1.3 billion, and last year to 1.9 billion. And already in Q1, we had a good growth, Q1 versus Q1. What we see in this region is that the growth rate is even faster than that. So we really see a huge pickup, and not only in the virtualization of the server, but also a new initiative, and something which has been growing quite exponentially, is the initiative of virtualizing also the desktops, the PCs in your environment.
What can your results, your issues give to the Hungarian companies, to the Hungarian computer companies, informatics sciences or something like that?
Well, essentially, I think the biggest thing, especially at the time of this crisis where people are really trying to save money and be more efficient with what they do, there's less and less to spend, and we need to justify more and more how we can spend it. I think the biggest thing that the Hungarian companies see is the fact that they, as an IT, can demonstrate cost savings to the company. It's been so often that the IT environment has been a bucket of money where it's being poured in, and nobody knows what kind of actual cost-saving benefit they have towards the company. And I think we need to transform the IT environments to becoming really business leaders. If an IT environment in today's world crashes, if we have a burn down of a data center, if it's not up and running in 3 or 4 days, you can close down the business. This is how important IT is today. So we need to step up also as IT people and as IT business leaders, and really not spend all of our money maintaining the infrastructure, but growing together with the business. And I think this is very important for the companies.
Can you tell me something about your market share, about the company's market share, of course?
Well, if we look at companies like Gartner or IDC, they're rating our market share between 80 to 90%. So we have a very, very dominant position, mostly because we did invent this idea of virtualization of the Intel AMD environment. But also we have a very close relationship with companies like Cisco, companies like EMC, HP, IBM, Intel, and others. So if we saw the announcements, and this is what we're doing here, we're doing the roadshow, and today we have 340 people, so quite a large crowd for such an obscure topic as virtualization, but let's say maybe not as easy to understand when it comes to the end user consumer. We had the announcement on April 21st, and there we had, John Chambers, who's the CEO of Cisco. We had Joe Tucci, CEO of EMC. We had Michael Dell, who's the CEO of Dell, and our CEO, Paul Maritz, announcing this new initiative of the cloud. And it's quite amazing to see that this kind of people, this kind of huge business leaders are now coming together with what used to be a small software company to announce where they want to go. So the reason we have this position is not only our product but also our relationships.
I have so many things about this cloud computing. Can you tell me? Can you describe this phrase? What does it mean exactly?
That's not the easiest thing in the world to describe, but I think the best way to look at it is, as I was saying before, we're buying so many servers, and these servers are underutilized. They're using 5–10%. So how can we harness the power of all the CPUs and all the memory and all of this computing power we have and harness it as one sort of cloud environment where we can say, I want to use a piece of that CPU power for my data center, I want to rent it. Just think about it from a different perspective. Today, if you want to have a phone, you go to your phone company and you sign a contract and they give you a phone and you use that phone for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months, 1 year. And this is what you're doing, you're paying as you go for the phone, for the minutes. Why can't you pay as you go also for the IT? And why can't you switch your IT provider if they're not competitive anymore, if you want to go from one phone company or one IT cloud to another one? So really not just only investing into buying more and more and more things which are not working, but pay as you go, making IT as a service-oriented thing like the phone is or like electricity is. You don't pay for 2 million euros or, 10 million forint of electricity and use it down, you pay for what you use.
Okay, and final question, are you satisfied with today's event and the colleagues and Hungarian colleagues?
So today's event, I think, was one of the best ones we've had. So we had 340 people in the room on my presentation, which is absolutely amazing. It was even bigger, the one than we had in the Czech Republic, which was 300 people, and Czech Republic is a slightly bigger market. We'll see what it'll be like in Poland, which will be on Thursday. But at this point, we have a very high level of speakers. We had Mold presenting, we will have Eggies presenting, we had a lot of very good sponsors like EMC. So this is something where, yeah, I'm very satisfied.
And did you talk to the Hungarian colleagues? What was the most often question from them?
You mean my Hungarian colleagues here in VMware? I think right now they're not able to talk to me. They're just running around trying to talk to everybody else. But I'll ask them after the event.